Hi, Leo. Welcome. So, Leo, this is going to be a reading. I'm going to start with the spiritual general messages. Then I am going to go into the love you versus them reading. I'm time stamping this May because that's when I'm recording it, but my readings are timeless. So I just trust that whenever you find this, that's when it's for you. So, Leo, let's get into it because the energy feels so good today. I actually wasn't sure which zodiac sign I was going to do. I kind of left it up to the cards to tell me who is next. And initially I thought maybe I was going to do Virgo, but then I was feeling Leo vibes. So here we are. Leo, and I feel good. I feel optimistic. So I feel like you may be truly in that sun energy. As I look down, I see your card is at the bottom of the deck here. You know, this is when you're like vibing high, when you're vibrant, happy, go lucky, just lovely, lovely energy, Leo. And I feel like that's what Spirit's encouraging you to do, to go to that resonant, high vibing space, to open your heart and open your heart chakra and just allow yourself to feel good, enjoy the moment, enjoy the day, you know. Especially for my Leos who have maybe been stuck in this very pessimistic, opposing energy. And for some of you, it was an era, like, like not even like a blip in time. Some of you have really, really been stuck for a while. But there is so many planetary things going on right now. You're not going to continue to stay stuck, Leo. That is a promise. So let's see what else we have coming through. You have the fourth house, and then I just had a card fall out. The North Node of Destiny. So the fourth house is all about family, home, real estate, your background, your inner world, taking good care of yourself. It's also talking about rejuvenation. So where in your life could you use a little bit of va-va-voom, a little bit of rejuvenation, Leo? And this is a very hopeful energy. The North Node is about destiny, fulfilling your purpose, maturing, experiencing new things, but it's all about your personal and spiritual development. So again, very like high vibing vibes coming through, and I'm loving it. So let's see what else for Leo. You have the card of transformation, the card of compromise. My goodness. Well, I really didn't want to get that many out, but they just kept it coming, didn't they? Which, hold on, just one row. That didn't change anything. Oh, well. I have a window behind my camera, so I only have, like, so much control over the lighting in here. Almost none, to be honest with you. I probably need to, like, actually get, like, professional equipment. I just use my cell phone. Which is crazy, because I've been on YouTube for 5 years. You'd think I would get it together by now, but procrastination station. Anyways, enough about me. Although, can some of you relate to that? I don't know. But back to you, Leo. Okay, so lots of positive cards here, but be careful not to exhaust yourself, right? Because to me, this also feels a little bit like you're overdoing it, or have the possibility of overdoing it. You have the card of transformation and compromise, experiencing exhaustion and celebration. So don't drain your social battery, Leo. Don't be going out and pushing yourself to attend events or do things that you don't feel ready for, that you don't want to do. I think we get trained, you know, by society to do things we don't want to do. You know, to play that social obligation role. And in some ways, you kind of have to go along with that if you're going to be, I guess, contributing to society in the ways that are expected of you. But at the same time, like, I feel like we overdo it. I feel like we over push ourselves or over deliver, right? When sometimes our social battery or our mental well-being takes the hit and needs that rest, and we're not giving ourselves that rest. So if you don't absolutely have to do something, use your out. You know, like, don't push yourself to appear happy when you're not feeling happy, or go to a social event when you really just rather sleep. you know what I mean? Like, respect your body, respect your emotional well-being, Leo. But I also feel, though, at the same time, some of you are getting a boost of energy that is going to allow you to maybe do more than you have in the past. And there's some sort of compromise or change in a situation or a relationship coming through as well that is bringing about some sort of healing or hopeful energy. So let's see, a Leo, very interesting start. Let's see where this is headed. And this song was stuck in my head before I meditated for your reading, so it may or may not resonate with you, but I want to bring it up because it's still playing in my head right now. It is Miley Cyrus, Flowers. I can buy myself flowers. Such an empowering song, I feel. It's about loving yourself, about treating yourself good, you know. So let's see, Leo, what else we have coming through for you. The Five of Swords, the Knight of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, and Temperance. Now, you got the card of exhaustion earlier, and this almost looks to be like the same energy. Gosh, that glare is horrible. You know, the Five of Swords to me does usually talk about rejection, which could have occurred here, but it also to me talks about exhaustion, about being at a loss, about like feeling like you cannot win, you know, and also not even having the energy to like really try. So again, be careful, like when you're feeling in that space, and we all get in that space from time to time, you know, just honor the fact that, hey, I'm not in a good feeling space, and so I need to give myself some space to recollect, realign my energies. Because I also feel a lot of back and forth, like, I don't know if you're like literally traveling back and forth and that's physically exhausting you, and or you're just going like back and forth energetically, or something in your mind you're going back and forth about. Like, take this as it applies. But I feel a lot of inconsistency as well, like hard to make up your mind. You could even be having like racing thoughts. If you're really letting yourself get too exhausted, ooh, that gives me anxiety just thinking about that, because I know how that feels. You know, when your mind is just like, it feels like you don't even have control over it. It feels like it has control over you, you know? And that often happens the most when your mind and body is exhausted. As someone like who used to suffer from massive panic attacks, I could tell you that most of, if not all, of my panic attacks occurred when I had mentally exhausted and emotionally depleted myself. So like my brain could not fight the fearful or negative thoughts, and therefore panic attack, anxiety. So all the better reason, right, to take good care of your mental health and to say no when you need to say no. Like, I can't come. I don't want to. You know, you're a Leo. You're pretty blunt. I mean, I don't feel like you guys sugarcoat things, but like, don't feel bad about it. Like, if you don't want to, you don't want to. You don't gotta be rude about it either, but you know, just saying. Okay, Ten of Pentacles and the Temperance. So I also feel Temperance to me could be about like alchemy, balancing out your emotions and your passions, but in the reverse it could also be very moody energy as well. So again, be careful with your mood control. But the Ten of Pentacles is also here, and Ten of Pentacles is very stable, very grounded, a good foundation. So I feel like in the big picture, Leo, you're standing on firm footing. Like, you know, the ground is not going to give way. You have stability around you. It's just getting a hold of that emotional compass that matters the most right now. So let's see what else we have coming through. The Moon. Cupid. Ten of Swords, Three of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Five of Wands kind of came out separately. So there's that back and forth again. What are you going back and forth about? What are you having? You having like some inner conflict. Some of you, this be maybe manifesting as actual conflict. Be careful with that, Leo. And it could be surrounding like friends or family in particular. Where you're just not seeing eye to eye, okay? But it could be really in any relationship or an intimate partnership. But I get a lot of tension here. I feel a lot of tension. And it's just exhausting you, right? Like you have the Ten of Swords next to the Moon. Ow. That's just complete emotional exhaustion. Like she looks like she's giving up, right? He, she, doesn't matter. It's a general reading. This person looks like they're giving up. And that is exactly what the situation and this energy is calling you to do. Not giving up on your desire. Not giving up on what you want. But giving up the resistance. You know, giving up the need to fight or be understood or, you know, run something through your mind to the point that it just gives you anxiety and exhausts you. Give the struggle up. Give it up. It's not getting you anywhere. It's perpetuating what you don't want. See, and we think if we wrestle something to the ground and we attack it and then give our focus to the problem, we're going to somehow miraculously find a solution. And that's not how it works. It's never going to work that way because law of attraction will not allow that. The more you try to tackle something that you do not want, the more you grow the unwanted thing. The more you grow the problem. The only way anything gets solved is by giving up the need to solve the problem, giving up the need to struggle with it, giving up the struggle. It's almost like one of my favorite like affirmations that I listen to, because I listen to spiritual podcasts like every day of my life because it literally saved my life. Spirituality saved my life. Understanding law of attraction saved my life. But anyways, one of my favorite things, one of my favorite mantras to listen to, especially when I myself am in that on that struggle bus, is I am where I am. I am where I am. And that's got to be all right because I cannot be anywhere else. I am where I am. I am where I am. I accept where I am. I am where I am. I accept where I am. Where I am is perfectly fine. Where I am is perfectly fine. I am where I am. I can be okay with that. I have to be okay with that because it's the only place and point in time I ever am. I am where I am. I don't know why. It's like it's just a simple mantra, but it just always like calms me down and is like, oh, okay. Because usually also when you're feeling exhaustion like this, it's because your mind is like going 300 miles an hour, or you're thinking about anywhere but where you're actually at right now. You're worried about your future, or you're thinking about something from the past, and you don't live in the past or the future. You live in the now. So you disconnect yourself from your power if you go too far in either direction, right? So it's also about bringing yourself back to center, Leo. And then as opposed to thinking about whatever this is that's exhausting you, think future forward tense. All right, I am where I am. Where would I like to be next? How would I like to feel next? I am where I am. I cannot change the past, but what would I like to feel next? What would I like to focus on next? And start pushing your thoughts towards the future oriented, the not yet manifested reality over which you have complete control. You have zero control over anything that has already manifested. It is old. It is the past. It is gone. You only have control over what is yet to be manifested. which begins in the mind. And if that's all you have control over, then why would you give focus to anything else? And also, why would you entertain what you don't want in your mind as what's next when it hasn't even manifested yet? That's called worry, right? So they want you to think positively, think future oriented, think future forward, stand in your power. You have stability around you. I honestly feel like at the very beginning of the reading, there was such this optimistic vibe, and I feel like the spirit just calling you right back into alignment, into this, the sun. You're represented by the sun, the freaking sun. Like, what is more powerful than the sun? Nothing. That's how much power you have over this. You know? So, take your power back. Let's see what else. You have Judgment, the Two of Cups. Ooh, the Ace of Cups. Some of you need to make a judgment call around a relationship. Some of you, this is a love relationship that maybe you're hesitant to make, and maybe that's what's exhausting you. You know, or the hesitation is coming from this is back and forth vibe going on. So say this is about a partnership. Okay, I'm going to break this down into a little bit more specific. For those of you that this is about a partnership where there is a lot of inconsistencies or back and forth, there's struggle here, okay, or conflict with this person, and it's just completely exhausting you. I feel like there is a resolution or healing available for that specific connection, but you got to get right with yourself first, because we often want to make it about the other person and what they're not doing, and you know, or what they are doing that we don't like, and you don't really have any power over others or another. You can influence, but you cannot control another's point of view, how they feel or how they behave. So it will exhaust you if you're constantly trying to do that, because it's not your freaking job. And also, you couldn't do it if you tried. The only person that can change their own behavior is themselves. You know, so where then to put your focus if this is about another person? How you feel, how you react, what you choose to do, how loving you want to be. You know, that's what you have control over. And that's what you're meant to work on anyways in this life. That is the work you came here to do, was to make love a personification of love. As much love as you could personify as a person is your mission, and also your path of least resistance, and also the thing that will bring you the most happiness in your life. And it has nothing to do with other people. So, Leo, for those of you that this is not necessarily about a connection, some of you have struggles or exhaustion going on in another area of your life, but you have at the same time a very strong, mutual, loving connection. But sometimes when we're going through things and elsewhere, it can put a kibosh or put a pause on many areas of our life. So be careful that whatever's stressing you out isn't bleeding into your healthy, loving connection or connections. Ooh, this is a long, this is a little long. So we're gonna go to the love reading now, but let me get a guidance card real quick for you, my Leos. Okay. This is card number 20. Flawed premises can attract true unwanted evidence. If you were to hear a false premise again and again until you actually began to believe it and repeat it, now your own activation of the contradictory vibration would interfere with your sense of intelligence, and you would begin to attract evidence of your belief, in effect proving the false premise to be true. And so it becomes increasingly hard for you to call this a false premise when the evidence seems to be telling you it is true. For over time, you have come to believe it is true. This card is really interesting because this is essentially saying, Leo, that you've developed a thought pattern, or better said, a belief that you feel is true that is actually not serving you and not true. And I'm going to give you an example. Say you've had a hard knock life, or you've had some hard knocks in relationships, and because of that experience, you begin to believe and repeat to yourself that relationships are difficult. Relationships are hard. Relationships don't work out easily for me. Relationships, whatever. And then you repeat that to yourself. And because you believe that, you start attracting to you partners, friends, whatever, that reflect that belief that relationships are difficult. You know, you may attract a partner that has very differing views than you, or attract a friend that is a frenemy, you know. And then as you attract that, you say, aha, I am right. You see, look at all this difficulty around me. And they're saying, if you want to step away from that, okay, and understand that that may be true for you because it's based off of what you believe, but it is not true for everyone. And you don't have to continue to attract that, but first you must remove the belief so that you can experience something different. Because law of attraction will have us believing we're right about the state of the world or about other people, because law of attraction is going to bring you evidence of everything you believe is true, whether it's good for you or not, whether it's actually even true or not. You get what I mean? So choose your beliefs wisely, Leo, especially when it comes to relationships. Woo! That's a really big start to this reading. So let's go to the love portion of the reading then. I will see you in just a second. Welcome back. All right, so now we're going to go into the you versus them love reading. I'm going to go back and forth between you and the person you may be connecting with, Leo. Keep in mind it is a general reading, so the roles may be reversed. Feel free to flip it if you need to. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Probably going to resonate with an intimate relationship or an ex, but doesn't have to. Can be also about family member, friend, parent, sibling, you name it. So keep an open mind and let's get into it. So, wow, lots going on with your person. Here you are, Leo, at the card of success. I love this. This also is representative of the Six of Wands, which is about recognition, admiration, attention. So this could be a very optimistic, good feeling time for you, which I felt that in the spiritual reading coming through as well. So I'm happy to see that. Person you're connecting with has inner voice, innocence, and guilt. So I feel like this person is battling some things internally. They're guilt tripping themselves for not listening to their inner voice or their intuition about something, or about you possibly. Like, at the same time, Spirit is saying, you know, never beat up on yourself for not knowing something or not seeing something, right? Like, you know better because of what you went through, and now that you know better, you do better, right? Like, there's nothing good that comes from beating up on ourselves, although I feel a lot of us are brought up that way or parented that way. Our religions also kind of teach us that we're shameful and we're sinners and blah, 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 blah. We're not taught about our worth very often, depending on where you grew up and what type of society you grew up in. But in general, you know, we're a pretty hard-nosed society that almost kind of looks down on loving oneself and being in love with yourself. It's almost considered egotistical and all this nonsense, you know. So I don't know why I'm going into this. I don't know if Leo, you're also resonating with this energy of like, maybe you feel that way. Maybe you were raised that way. Maybe you've been beating up on yourself and you need to hear that it's okay to love yourself. It's not even useful for you to beat up on yourself or other people. It just gets more and more tense. It doesn't solve anything, okay? So that was actually similar to what I was feeling in the spiritual reading to as well. So take that if it resonates. I'm feeling that more so on your person's side, but it could be both of you. Let's get into it. We're going to look at the past, how you see each other in the present, how you feel about each other, and most likely outcomes. Recent past for my Leo. 6 of Cups, 5 of Cups. Didn't I just say, oh my gosh. 6 of Cups, 5 of Cups, that is exactly what I was just talking about. This is having regret from the past. Regretting a past decision, not being it, like looking back on something and like, how did I not see that? Why didn't I do anything different? Blah, 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 blah. Because you've never been through it before. So be easy on yourself. You weren't meant to see it. You had the blinders on. That's all right. How else are you going to learn how to listen to your intuition unless sometimes you don't? How would you ever be able to discern your true intuition unless you put yourself in experiences where you didn't use it? How would you even come to value your intuition without those experiences, right? So never look back on something from the past and through the eyes of regret. Through the eyes of regret. Once you know better, you do better, right? So it's weird because I picked up that like this person struggles with that same thing though, Leo. Like sometimes they'll be like, oh gosh, why didn't I listen to my gut on that? Why didn't I this? Why didn't I that? And it's just a form of beating up on themselves. You know, that doesn't serve them either. So both of you could be beating yourselves up over something from the past, and it's unnecessary, it's unneeded. And in order to heal and move forward, you need to surrender that, let that go. So anyways, 9 of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, something really unhappy, really unsatisfying that happened to you in the past. I feel like this did a number on you, Leo, and it's not the easiest thing to let that go. But if you don't, it's going to create trauma, because that's what trauma is. Trauma is holding on to unhealed wounds, not allowing yourself to heal. So anyways, let's see this person's recent past. And there's that stinking song again. Recent past for my Leo, the person they're connecting with, the Tower. Yeah, I definitely get this, how did I not see that coming type of energy from this person's side as well. Whoa, way too many. But they are, they recently went through this period of like kind of evaluating themselves, evaluating the past. But they are moving past it, Leo, and you're being encouraged to move past it as well. I feel like something did a number on you, but it also really did a number on this person. But they are in the space of like processing this, of thinking their way out of it, which is really an interesting statement. But, or thinking of ways to get out of it. I don't know what that means. It's like a sense of like, wow, that really shook me up. How can I move on from that? That's what it is. How can I move on from that? How can I forgive myself for not seeing that coming, or for not doing something different, something like that going on. So I feel this person having some regret and contemplation, and I feel dissatisfaction as well as regret on your side as well. Now, this was in the past, So some of you have already overcome this. Some of you are still struggling with this. We'll see. We're going to bring it into the present energy and see, how does Leo view this person today? How does Leo view this person? 9 of Wands, 8 of Pentacles. The Hierophant. The Empress. And the 3 of Pentacles. So, Leo, the first thing I got was staying committed. Well, Leo, you are a fixed sign, so you're not flaky by any means. You are usually committed to whatever you put your effort or your focus onto, including relationships. I know, like, Leos get a bad rap because, like, you're a Leo, but sometimes there could be like that player energy there. But I feel like when you're really certain about something, though, or someone, when you really care, you are very committed. You like commitment. And some of you have a commitment with this person that is growing, that is developing, that is becoming more. Others of you would like to have that with this person, even though at times I feel a little uncertainty in your energy, or a little bit of this guardedness. I actually feel overall you're very dedicated, loyal, patient, cooperative. Let's see, this person's, how do they view you then, Leo? Page of Wands. Five of Pentacles. I'm just going to say this, take it if it resonates. I heard frivolous spending. I don't know if they're viewing you as a frivolous spender or you're viewing them as that, but I specifically got those words. Take it if it resonates. Leave it if it doesn't. Either way, frivolous, though, is an important word, whether it's got to do with spending or not. Like, there is a frivolous nature here to this person or to how they view you, Leo. Like, you have 2 pages here, and this is showing up in their perception of you. And pages are like childlike energy. So, what the heck? This person may view, like, I can see this in a positive and a negative way. They may view you as childish and frivolous. In a positive way, they may view you as, like, playful, fun, always full of new ideas, like a child, you know? Like fun, like a child, and always down for an adventure. But yet there is this 5 of Pentacles here, where there's like this down and out energy. So, you know, like, I feel like this person is like, okay, Leo, when you're down and out, sometimes you're impulsive and you're frivolous. And I don't know why that's showing up. It's a concern for them. Even if that's not how you really are, like, that's how they perceive it. At the same time, there's like this bounce back energy where I feel like you are able to bounce back pretty relatively easily, which is what makes you resilient. So you see, I could read that in a good way, in a bad way. I guess it depends on their mood, their perception. So that's interesting. See, that's so funny to me, because here I'm just talking about, like, Leo, you're dedicated, committed, loyal, and this person is seeing you as frivolous? This don't make no sense. Like, there's a misperception here. Or some, I don't know, like, you know, are you ever surprised by how sometimes people, you know, take you or take something you said and completely twist it, or, you know, like, I get a sense of that, you know? Like, they make assumptions and it's like way off base to what you actually felt or meant, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's going on as well, but we'll see. Let's go into the heart space then. How does Leo feel underneath it all? Four of Pentacles. The Sun. How do they feel about this person? The Nine of Pentacles. Two nines and the four. Wow. So there's mixed feelings here. Well, there's that fixed nature that I was talking about. Sorry for the pause, but I want to make sure I get it right. And sometimes this can be a very stubborn energy, Leo. Leo, you stubborn. Never. Yeah, that can happen. So there's that stubborn energy here, right? You're like digging in your heels. And yet here's the Sun, which is you. Very positive, happy energy. This is standing up for what you believe in. That's what this is. This is like, I'm going to stand up for what I believe in and what makes me happy. At what cost though? Because the Nine of Swords is here and the Four of Cups. So at the same time, Leo, I feel like there's a cost associated with this. And the cost is stress, which you're trying to detach from. It's almost like when you're saying, like, I'm going to hold my stance no matter what. But then you stress about it. So does your stance even serve you if it's stressing you? Some of you are trying to prove a point. But, you know, it's funny because anytime you try to prove a point, you end up proving a point to yourself, but maybe nobody else. Because you cannot control how other people view you. See, oh, okay, so some of you are trying to prove a point and you're not getting your point across. You see, because this person isn't seeing it the same way you're seeing it. And so if you're trying to make a point so much so that it costs you your happiness, it is not a point worth proving. Keep that in mind. Let's see what's going on in this person's heart space. Eight of Wands, Knight of Wands. I'm not laughing at the situation, but the first message I got was in one ear and out the other. Somebody's trying to prove a point, and when it comes to the other person, and feel free to flip this, it's a general reading, it's in one ear and out the other. Quite literally. Literally. The Emperor. Yeah, see, this person is very strong-willed and hard-headed as well. So this is not like a personality that I feel you can tell them what to do necessarily. Like, I feel like this person wants to call their own shots. Even if you're doing it out of good intention. You know what I mean? Like, it's like trying to tell somebody, like, hey, if you go about it this way, it's going to hurt you. And they're like, don't tell me what to do. I will do it my way. And then they get hurt. And then it's like, you know, that going on. I don't know why I feel like this is serious, but I also feel like it's humorous in the way that it's ironic. You know what I mean? Plus, like, hey, it's a tarot reading. Okay, so we need to keep it light and fluffy. So, yeah, in this person's heart of heart, I feel a lot of passionate energy here, and I feel like this person is trying to stay, like, lighthearted and playful, even though there is some serious wounding here. There's something from the past. Maybe they won't admit it, you know, or maybe they'll never admit it, but there is something from the past that they have guilt or regret about, and they are moving past it. They are trying to make those steps, but it's still here, right? Like, but at the same time, I feel like this is not a type of personality that would ask for help either. Like, this is like, I will handle it. I will handle this. So let's see where this is headed then, Leo, and most likely outcomes. Oh my goodness. Ooh, very good. Knight of Wands. The Lovers. Two of Wands and the Five of Swords. So there's that darn Five of Swords. Now this started out your spiritual reading, and here it is ending your love reading. I'm definitely going to have to get a clarifier on that. So Leo, the Knight of Wands is an action-driven energy, but it's also inconsistent, and it is back and forth. It also moves too fast and can be impulsive. So where are you moving too fast when it comes to the connection or with this person or they, you? Or this could also be like jumping to conclusions as well. There's a lot of focus on the connection, I feel. So give this time. Like, don't rush this, Leo. I feel like you just want to jump in and take action and say what you want to say and all of this stuff. But I feel that the energy, like there's some things that need to line up first, or like take your time, okay? Because the Five of Swords is here. The Five of Swords is here, which is loss, rejection. Sometimes this can be spiteful, vengeful energy. Like, what the heck? Six of Wands. Oh, but you're going to overcome that. I hope this made sense to you. Like, you know, the best revenge is no revenge at all. Just be happy. Just be happy. You know what I mean? The best way to prove your point is to not prove it at all. Just go on about your merry way, Leo. Stay on your high horse. You come off that high horse for nobody. So there's something here that I feel could bring you down to that level, but you're being encouraged to keep your head held high. To not jump into things. There is a very strong bond and connection here. And there's dedication around that. All right. But there's also this viciousness here. And let me get a better picture of what's going on over on this person's side, because I want to know what that's about. The Empress, the Ten of Wands, the Three of Pentacles. This person's kind of going about things the hard way, I'm not going to lie. But they're hard-headed, so you can't tell them nothing, right? You can't tell them nothing. But you know, you should understand that, because you can't tell you nothing either. Leo. Yeah, it's like this person is they're on the struggle bus a little bit. There's something from the past that they're needing to let go of. They want to, I think their desire is to like be warm and wholesome and caring, and maybe that's what they're desiring from you as well. And to have like this supportive, cooperative energy. But they're on the struggle bus and like nothing is working and they're getting frustrated. And yet trying to maintain their composure, yet not asking for help when they need help. For some reason, this person is misunderstanding and misinterpreting also something about you or the energy that you're delivering. But you're going to overcome all of this, Leo. Like some of you, it's making you want to go into the Five of Swords, which is like a not so good feeling space. But it can only take you there if you let it. And keep that in mind. What's all these cards? So I feel like this person has some things they need to work on within themselves. They are very I'm not okay. They can be hard-headed. I heard stubborn asshole. Okay, whatever. Just for giggles, like there could be that, but you know, Spirit doesn't see anybody as a-holes, just us humans. But anyways, I feel like this person has a lot of potential, and as long as they continue to work on themselves, they are going to be having some success here and a new beginning. And I feel like there are things to look forward to. I also feel like you're going to overcome like this desire to go into a bad feeling space or maybe say something bad. Like I feel like this is the time where you get to conquer something within yourself that you haven't previously conquered, and bravo to you for that. And that's going to bring you good energy as well. So, and for those of you who don't end up conquering this, guess what? You just get to repeat it, but that's all right, because eventually you'll get it right. You know what I mean? Like, don't beat yourself up. If you end up repeating a mistake or acting in a way that you said, oh man, I wasn't going to do that anymore, do not beat yourself up over it, Leo. Accept that you acted in a way that maybe didn't serve you, but that you can choose differently again in the future. And the universe will give you endless opportunity to choose again and choose again and choose again and choose again. So nothing is lost. Anyways, let's see what the guidance is. It's card number 34. Inspired action is always pleasurable. The dominance of your thoughts is what brings everything to you, and is what is behind the action that you offer. By seeking good feeling thoughts that align you with your source, your action will then always feel good. You cannot muster enough action to compensate for misaligned thought, but action that is inspired from aligned thought is always pleasurable. So that's funny, because essentially this is saying, like, don't take action until you've thought it out and you feel good about the action you're going to take. Do not take impulsive action out of a lower level emotion. You will always regret it. Always. Oops, but my video cut me off. Sorry about that, guys, but we were wrapping up anyways. I did want to tell you, though, what zodiac signs you might be dealing with. As I still have them in front of me, so it could be dealing with another Leo. Taurus energy came out, Aries, lots of Aries energy, Aquarius, Scorpio, Cancerian energy. Let's see, anything else? Gemini, Taurus again. Yeah, those are the predominant signs, but take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it did resonate, let me know in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to give me a like, share, and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any future content. I am bringing some of my Sunday lives, not every Sunday, but at least one a month. Well, I'm already behind this month. My goal is to do at least 1 to 2 Sunday lives a month. But make sure you don't miss out by subscribing so you get the notification. Follow me on Facebook for more fun stuff. I do go live there as well. Tarot Time with Dana is the name of all my social media accounts. Otherwise, I'm wishing you guys the very, very best. And until next time, my friends, namaste. Bye.